Well, it's a beautiful afternoon, winter time, pretty chilly, but I've got the mates here. Got my mate Matt and Sock. We haven't been fishing for a long time, old Sock, but we're out there. It's good.
Usually against you, mate, not with you, buddy.
That's right. Back in the game fishing days, we used to get stuck into each other and we had a lot of fun. And we're going to do a little bit of that this evening. So I've got set up, put 2 anchors out. We've dropped a front anchor in and then a back anchor, holding the boat nice and square. I'm going to chase some brim around. Everybody loves catching brim, don't they, mate?
Of course they do.
It's just
bread and butter fish.
It is a bread and butter fish. Speaking of bread, we've got a bit of bread with us. We're going to throw a bit of bread out for burley. And we've got some secret bait here, and we'll show you the most simple brim fishing rig you're ever going to see, but it works really well. And of course, brim are such a nocturnal fish. Night time's the key. And I think, mate, we haven't got long to go. It's going to get dark, and hopefully the action's going to hot up. When it comes to bait fishing, it's probably one of the few times that I don't use braid, or polyethylene line, braid we call it. Nylon line still works really, really well when you're bait fishing. So I've got some 8 pound in the old scale, probably 3.5 kilo nylon line, with a little bit of 8 pound fluorocarbon leader for trace with it, and I've tied that on with a double uni knot. But really, it's even simpler than that. You can just tie it straight through onto that 8 pound, 10 pound if you like, doesn't really matter. I've got that hook tied straight through. This is how my mates Sock and Matt, they love to fish for brim the same way. I'm going to use circle hooks. If you like, you can still use your J hooks, so no sinker at all. Hook straight under the line, as I said, big long casts, and we'll project a few baits around, throw a little bit of bread out for burley. If you want to add a little sinker to it, if you're fishing in slightly deeper water, you've got a bit of tidal movement, then that little sinker running right onto the hook will work well just to get it down. But fishing for brim, it's all about fishing with really, really light baits. They love to pick things up. They think they've found something on the bottom. They're quite a scavenger fish, really, and they'll pick it up and run with it. So you've got to fish light. As far as bait goes, you can't beat the old mullet. So we've got a fillet of mullet here, and of course the mullet gut, which is one of the best baits going around. So use a little bit of bread for burley. Pretty simple. It's got to be the best burley, the easiest burley going around. You can pick up from anywhere, service station, the bakery. Just nip it in there like that, get it nice and wet, and then you can mould that up. Squeeze the water back out of it, and then get it out in the direction where we're on the fish. So nice ball, adds a bit of weight to it, that water. Roll it out there. There we go.
Oh yeah, we're in.
Honey?
Oh yeah. There's plenty of drag on here, and still having a go.
Nice little brim.
Yeah, you'd be just a legal fish, but geez, they come a lot bigger than that down here, Guesty.
Yeah, for sure. They can be fussy things, brim. They'll pick and play around and drop it, and especially if they're by themselves. I'm sure if they're in a big school and they don't have a lot of opportunity to do that, and they'll grab your bait and really tear off. And if you've ever dived with them and seen them underwater, how they feed, they'll come flying in, grab what they need to and race off with the other fish chasing them around. So certainly makes them a lot easier to catch when there's numbers of them.
And Sock's in. Looks like a slightly better one than the first couple.
Not bad.
Not doing much yet.
Matt and Sock are competitive buggers, and I'm starting to think they may have poisoned my bait.
Oh, yeah, I think he's figured out these hook now. Oh, here we go.
He's a better one.
He's a little bit better. Yeah. Still not a big fish, but he's a little bit better than the others.
A lot of where we're fishing here is around these cockle beds, and you can see those cockles sit on the bottom and that weed sits up through the water column, and it's great habitat for brim. These cockles are also a fantastic bait if you can open one up. So if we just open these fellas up, they make great burley for brim, and also if you get the bigger ones, fantastic bait for most species, but certainly brim, mad keen on these things. It's another piece of weed.
No weed. No weed.
Oh, he's a nice one. Nice. He's all right.
They're starting to get slightly bigger, Guesty.
Hey, look at him, Sock.
There you go, mate. Look at that.
I just want to know what they look like. I've hardly had a bite. Plus, I'm going to take these blokes fishing, I'll tell you right now. It looks like Matt's about to upgrade.
Oh,
Hey, that's better, mate.
That big.
And this, a fish this size, just so you know at home, and that's why it's so, so important to let these big breeding fish go. This fish is probably 30 years old, 28, 30 years old. So they're very, very, very slow growing fish. So quite an old fish, as I said, but beautiful one at that. He is an absolute cracker.
Yeah, mate, it'll be a pleasure to let that one go.
He's pretty
good.
I'd be interested. He'd be up over that sort of around that 40-odd centimetre mark. So,
yeah,
mate, well done. That's what we come out here for in the freezing cold, to come and catch big quality ones like that. Well done, buddy.
Finally, I'm hooked up.
Come on, old mate.
He looks all right, Guesty.
Yeah, he seems to be having a bit of a go, Matty.
Right.
Yeah, different fight. We said before, mainly use nylon for this bait fishing. I only brought one rod because when you have your mates, I go to chat to them and they said, yeah, we'll just bring one rod each. These rakes Sock brought 7 and Matty brought 14 rods, so they've had 7 and 14, and I thought, well, I'm going to have to at least throw a second one out. So I've got a bit of braid, so the fight's totally different. And if you can hear that drag, there's no stretch. So
grab the net for this one too, I think.
It's a much different fight.
He's a nice fish too, mate.
Nice one. Come on, buddy, get in there.
There's a nice lump of wood. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, baby.
There's some weed there, mate. There's still a kilo of fish.
You know what?
With him.
So the old mate Sock, this is what he's been catching. So we'll show you what Sock's been catching. That's what Sock's been catching. He's out in the back of the boat. And Matty and I, we've been into.
They've got one big one each.
Oh, look at that. He's a
lovely,
beauty.
isn't he?
He's a ripper.
Nice fish, mate.
Actually, I was just going to show you how that hook was sitting there. It's just in there. I need one like that, and it's fallen out. So it just goes to show you when you're fighting a fish and you don't know where it's hooked, it's always pays to keep a good, even, solid tension on there. So he's a cracker.
Sock's calling this one for a big brim. Anything's got to be better than a lump of weed. Well, maybe.
I've got to tell you, if you're going to catch an eel, that's a great looking eel.
Are you solid?
Yeah, he's solid. It's good combat in this shallow water. You've got the weed to deal with and reefy bits and pieces, and this fella's done.
Mate, he's fighting well, this bloke.
He started way out the other way. I think he's going to be all right, this bloke.
Yeah, I'd say so, mate. Oh, nice fish.
Oh, nice one. Oh, there we go. We've done we've gone around the world there and picked someone else's line up along the way, which is not good. Oh dear. Thank you, sir. I did bring Sock for a reason. He's really good at handing people scissors, see that, so we'll just cut that one off.
Call me Edward.
Edward Scissorhands. There he is. We'll let that bloke go. Off you go, mate. There he goes. Nice release. Right. Oh!
Hey, this is a better class eel, this one.
This is a real eel. Now, Sock's gone from weed to an eel. And
What about the brim?
Could this be a ray?
What about the brim?
Yeah, but they were baby brim. We're talking about big brim, like Matty. Oh, Sock. Hey?
What about any plant?
Oh! Hey?
Might need the net for this one.
No, it's weed.
It's bigger than yours, Gary. It's bigger than yours.
Oh, you're dreaming, Jack.
Have a look.
Let's have a look.
Jack.
It's
ready for this, Jack?
definitely your fish, mate, because it's got all the.
It's got half.
I'm going to bring a bread roll and some mayonnaise next time for all the lettuce.
Okay.
Oh, mate, that's a nice one. Where is he? I'll grab him. That is a seriously nice fish. Look at that. Beautiful big brim.
Well, that's all of us. We've caught a big one each.
We have.
That's a quality brim, mate.
That is.
We told you we'd get them down here.
Oh, look, hey, it's that circle hook just pinned in the corner there.
I'll tell you what, Sock, you don't miss often, mate.
Yeah, well, there's
Patience.
Mate, you got to
Brim
pick who
fishing
you
is
hang
all
out.
about patience, and my wife tells me I've got none.
Which probably explains some of the weed and eels you've caught, so.
Oh, I keep hooking them, mate.
There you go. Look, the thing to remember too is, I know we're in the boat here at the moment, but the shoreline's only just there. It's right in close, so you don't have to have a flash boat to come and do this. You pick those areas where those weed beds are, where there's structure, there's lots of rocks and certain areas that brim like to feed around, which are those kelp beds, which are those cockles. It drops away here to a little bit of a weed bank and some gravelly areas. All of those areas are great for brim, and you can do it off the bank. Get a couple of clowns like this to come out fishing with you at night and you'll have a great time. All right, we'll catch you next time, eh? See ya.
Thank you.